Storm and Tell, Show and Desire, whatever you would like to call it, that's what we're playing today. Mind's Desire plus Show and Tell and Legacy. Let's go check it out. This is today's deck list. So, like most Show and Tell variants, it's based around the card Show and Tell. And then from there, you want to put Omniscience onto the table. You then play Atraxor Grand Unifier, and then ideally, you'll find your copies of Emrakul the Aeon's Torn. But what makes this deck list interesting, and part of the Storm and Show, is that today we're playing Mind's Desire. So this is actually a pretty interesting aspect of the deck. So let's say you can't find Show and Tell. You can play Mind's Desire and then hit your Omniscience, and then you can play your Atraxor Grand Unifier or whatever. But that's one avenue. The other is that, let's say you do Show and Tell, Omniscience, and then you play a couple cards like Brainstorm or Ponder. You can then Mind's Desire for a bunch and then reveal your large cards as well. So Mind's Desire is really good at all points of the combo, which is really nice. In order to support it, we're playing a couple black cards like Dark Ritual and then Profane Tutor. And while a card that you'll see in a lot of Show and Tell variants, Lotus Petal, to help accelerate into this Mind's Desire. In the sideboard, you have Duress to help protect your combo as well. We have Dismember for anything that might be stopping us from winning the game, like Containment Priest or something along those lines. Leyline of the Void for all of the Reanimator strategies that are really popular right now. Beseiju to help resolve Show and Tell. And then Brazen Borrower is a generic answer. The Force Negations in the sideboard are for opposing combo decks. But when you look at the shell of this deck, it's like most Show and Tell decks in the format. You have consistency cards with Brainstorm and Ponder, Yorion revealed to draw 3 or get a land, also exiles the Force of Will. It's pretty stock. And while today is a donation deck, and I would like to thank Redo Schurer for today's donation deck, they paid for the middle tier, so I helped them with this deck list. This is not a deck list that I think is bad. I think it's actually pretty darn good, and today we're going to showcase that. So if you're interested in checking it out, stick around for match number 1. I'll see you there. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicswarm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicswarm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1. We're on the draw against the Dredge Expert. I'm going to keep this hand. This has the potential to be a turn 2 win with Daze backup, so we're interested in that. I would have to find Lotus Petal or Dark Ritual off of the Ponder, but I believe in us, so we're going to try this out. They find Basic Island and Careful Study. Stinkweed Imp and Golgari Grave Troll to the graveyard. Okay. We find Basic Island. I'm going to try to look like Storm here, so we're going to use Polluted Delta. We'll go grab an Underground Sea and play the Ponder. Land number 3 was not a good draw. Force of Will is a good draw, though. We will keep this. Pass the turn. They dredge and hit a Narc Amoeba, okay. And a Brainstorm, so they might be on their Force of Will list by the looks of it. Cabal Therapy me resolves. They named Dark Ritual, good try. And they flash it back. I'm going to Force of Will, exiling Brainstorm. Actually, no, let's do Daze. Because I could use the Brainstorm to protect Show and Tell next turn. So now we're going to draw the Yorion Revealed. We'll play the Island, pass the turn. They hit another Cabal Therapy. Fast's Oracle, okay. We're getting spicy. They play the Therapy, we will Brainstorm in response. So now it's the guessing game. Do you put Omniscience? Alright, I think I'm actually going to put Show and Tell on top. And then if they name Omniscience, we can put in the Emrakul, and I think that's fine. Let's see what they name. They do name the Omniscience. We will fetch with the Scalding Tarn. Grab Underground Sea. Show and Tell. Emrakul. Golgari Grave Troll. Pass the turn. They dredge and hit a Poxwalkers and a Cabal Therapy. Golgari Thug, so now they can flash back the Cabal Therapy and get back the Poxwalkers. They're going to attack. We'll block. I mean, the Grave Troll was always going to end up in the graveyard anyway, so it doesn't really matter all that much. And now they flash back the Cabal Therapy. They'll get back Poxwalkers. They put a Narcomoeba back on top of their deck. And they could discard the Yorion revealed here. I believe they know about that. I guess they knew about Ponder too? I'm not sure. Ancient Tomb was, I mean, I can cast the Yorion revealed now. So the question becomes, do I want to go to 15 life? I guess I have 3 days I could draw into, plus Force of Will blue card. So we should probably try that. We'll play Yorion revealed. Well, look at that. We found Force of Will. They dredge Narcomoeba and concede the game. That is game number 1. We're definitely bringing in Leyline of the Void. I think we can afford to take out Profane Tutor. It's just a little bit slow here. So we'll side those out. And maybe the Yorion revealed. And we'll try this. This deck already has a healthy land count. I mean, 17 lands with Lotus Petal and Dark Ritual. The Yorion revealed here aren't doing a whole lot of lifting. Okay, so this is a potential turn 2 win with Force of Will backup. We will keep, despite not having Leyline of the Void. Scalding Tarn. I mean, it could even be a turn 1, right? Careful Study. I would have to draw a payoff, though. Discards Thassa's Oracle and Golgari Grave Troll. They play Grief. I'm going to attempt a Force of Will here. They have 3 cards in hand. Ah, was not a payoff. Lotus Petal. We'll play Dark Ritual. Show and Tell. Omniscience. Alright, we have to pass the turn, but we have Omniscience on the table. They use Flooded Strand for an Underground Sea. No Surveil lands. Interesting. Otherworldly Gaze for another Golgari Grave Troll. Careful Study's a good one here. I'm running out of time. I need to draw something good fast. They play a Brainstorm as their final card in hand. Are they going to be able to dredge their deck here? Probably not. But they do hit a few more Narcomoebas. And now they're going to Dread Return on the Sataro. Okay, now they have 12 cards left. Cabal Therapy. Maybe they can dredge their deck. They have 6 cards left. If they have, and there's another Dread Return here. Wow, we're getting turn 2'd. Impressive. It looks like they did not cite in any answers, though, to Leyline of the Void. So if we mulligan to Leyline of the Void in game 3, we should be pretty well off. There's also no Force of Wills in their deck. This was very impressive, though. Especially without Lion's Eye Diamond to dredge your entire deck like that. Okay, let's try it. Game 3, we're on the play. We've opened up a Leyline, but we literally can't cast a single card in our hand. Against better judgment, I'm going to keep. Leyline of the Void. Lotus Petal. And now we're going to ponder looking for a land. We did not find one. We need to shuffle. Okay. This is the game where we lose with Leyline. We'll take a draw. In our upkeep, the Otherworldly Gaze. Okay. It's technically a land, but not one that we want. We'll pass. They play Careful Study. They have 5 cards remaining in hand at this point. We'll pass the turn. It's all we can do. We have to hope to draw an island. And now a Brainstorm. For another Cephalid Coliseum. So they are Brainstorm locked at the moment. Dark Ritual does not help me. We have to pass. Otherworldly Gaze. They did not play it in their our end step or their upkeep. So they wanted the top card. And another one. They're down to 4 cards in hand at this point. They got rid of a Flooded Strand. That could have been a black source for them. Lotus Petal again. We'll try to ponder. Sacrifice the Lotus Petal for blue, play ponder. And there's some lands. Put Daze on the bottom. We'll keep the Scalding Tarn. Pass the turn. The question is, do you want the Ancient Tomb that's on top of the deck? Poxwalkers. I think I'm going to Daze this. We'll spend mana on the Daze. They have 3 cards remaining. Omniscience. We'll play Brainstorm. So next turn I have a potential win. We'll hide Omniscience and Show and Tell on top. Pass the turn. Land number 4. Sure, you can have that. Dark Ritual. Show and Tell. Omniscience. They put in Stinkweed Imp. We'll play a Brainstorm here. Whoops, clicked the wrong button. Alright, so Brainstorm to increase our storm count. We'll put both of these back. We'll cast a few more copies of Omniscience. Need to increase that storm count. Mind's Desire. Whole lot of land so far. 1 Brainstorm. We'll play the Lotus Petal. Cast Brainstorm. Our opponent just did the smile emote and they're like, there's your lands. Yeah, for sure. Alright, so we will fetch. We'll grab... I could have gone Undercity Sewers there. We'll play Atraxa. We'll take Atraxa, Lotus Petal, Polluted Delta, Force of Will. Yeah, I like this. Another Lotus Petal. Mind's Desire for 11. We do need to remember that there's a couple copies of Cephalid Coliseum in play, but they would need Threshold to enable them, but it's just something to keep in the back of your mind. You don't have to Mind's Desire your entire deck. And they concede, so we got match number 1. There's still 4 more matches left to go. Let's go Storm and Show. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Alright, match number 2. We're on the draw against somebody that is in the Storm Discord. I don't know what they're playing today. They're a supporter of Tony Scaponi who streams on this very YouTube channel. So I'm willing to bet that they're on one of Tony's decks. And while it looks like it so far, City of Traders into Grim Monolith, Lotus Petal. Storm count is 2. And they're passing the turn with 4 cards in hand. We will play Undercity Sewers. I'll take a Daze. Pass the turn. Show and Tell. Why do I not have my Omniscience right now? Come on! I think I'm supposed to Force of Will this. We will exile Ponder. They Force of Will back, exiling Force of Will. Alright, so it looks like they're going to win the trade here. I'm going to put the Scalding Tarn into play because I'm not sure if I want the Daze that's on top of our deck. They have Copy Artifact. I need to try to brainstorm into another Force of Will here. We will Brainstorm. We missed. I'm going to concede. We're not going to be able to come back from that. We can just go to game number 2. So they had a turn 2 with Force Backup. I mean, that's pretty good. We'll bring in our Force of Negation. We'll bring in Duress. Brazen Borrower can interrupt their combo with all the copy effects, so we're interested in that. Profane Tutor can get out of our deck. And unfortunately, I think we want to get rid of the Storm part of the deck, so we're going to get rid of Mind's Desire and Dark Ritual. And we just want to be a control deck. So we could keep 1 Mind's Desire for blue count, or we could board in 1 Profane Tutor. I think it's Mind's Desire. We'll try this. Game number 2. Sure, keep. We'll use the Polluted Delta and we'll go grab an Underground Sea. They kept 7 cards. Duress. They have their own Force of Will, Copy Artifact. Alright, we'll take the Force of Will and pass the turn. Their hand doesn't do a whole lot at the moment. Alright. We will Ponder. I think we want all of this. Play the Underground Sea, pass the turn. They drew another Lotus Petal. And now we're going to draw Daze. I could Brainstorm into the Ancient Tomb on top just to make my land drop for the turn. I don't want to do that. The One Ring. I'm going to Force of Negation this, exiling Daze. They have so much mana. Okay, so we still know their entire hand. We'll play the Ancient Tomb. I'll Brainstorm. Maybe I should have Brainstormed before playing the Ancient Tomb. Did not matter. Put Show and Tell on the bottom, play Ancient Tomb. We'll pass the turn. They play another land. I could try to Mind's Desire for 3, but that doesn't seem very good to me. If they find a Coveted Jewel, like, we're in a lot of trouble. So I could go Lotus Petal, Daze the Petal, and then play Desire for 3. The question is that good enough? I think that the... Oh, I didn't hold control. Oh, no. What am I doing? I guess this is now a Mind's Desire for 2. Can't take me anywhere. Alright, so we'll Mind's Desire. I think the Profane Tutor might have been better this game. But this was a blue card to exile to a Force. We hit the Omniscience. Okay, so now we just need to draw a payoff spell. Alright, that could have been worse, for sure. Oh, they have the Otawara. I knew that. Yeah, we knew about the Otawara the whole time. I don't know what I'm thinking. And now they drew into a way to get the coveted jewel. I will daze the transmute artifact. I think this might make them 1 mana short. Yeah, now they're going to grab the One Ring, which is still very good for them. But I can Brazen Borrower the Ring, so that way they don't untap with it. We'll Petty Theft the One Ring, so they drew 1 card. And apparently they had Force a Negation, but we can Force a Negation back. And they exiled Metamorph, so their only card in hand is Copy Artifact. Brainstorm. We're going to hold that and pass. We'll flash in the Brazen Borrower. Undercity Sewers. Let's Brainstorm. We'll put back the Sewers and Omniscience. Play Duress. They have a Force of Negation. And another copy of the Ring. Swing. I'm going to just pass here. And I think we're going to get rid of the Omniscience. Alright, so now they're 1 mana away from the One Ring. We'll grab the Undercity Sewers. We will keep Lorien Revealed. Okay, gonna take some damage here. Cast Lorien Revealed. I think I'm going to hold this City of Traders. We don't really need to play it. Grim Monolith. We'll allow that to resolve. And then we can daze the One Ring, picking up our Undercity Sewers. Sweet, we've gotten game number 2. I'm going to leave it as it is. Okay, so we've opened up double force, but no lands. We're on the draw. I think you just have to send this back, unfortunately. I really want to keep it. This is like the same hand, but worse. We're going to keep it. I don't care. I'm not going to 5. Okay, turn 1 Peat Bog into Lotus Petal. They have 4 cards. We rip the Underground Sea, big fan. 4 mana. The One Ring, I will Force of Will, exiling an Omniscience. We draw a basic Swamp, we'll pass. Defense Grid, we'll let that go. They play another City of Traders, 2 cards remain in hand. Relic of Sauron. We're going to let this go. They have 1 card remaining. Now they have no cards. Okay. So I can put Omniscience in, it just doesn't really help me here. And I wouldn't have Force available if we pass the turn. So I'm going to just pass the turn and hope that we draw into Atraxa or Emrakul or the One of Mind's Desire. Our opponent's in a spot here where they have to decide if they want to tap the Grim Monolith to activate this Relic of Sauron, or potentially lose their Lotus Petal. It looks like they're going to use the Lotus Petal, and they are activating Relic of Sauron. They discard Sandstone Needle, 2 cards in hand. Come on, deck. Ponder. Okay, we're going to risk it. Show and Tell. Omniscience. Lodestone Golem. Well then. Okay, we will play Ponder. I have to pay 1. I think we keep this. Keep the Scalding Tarn. Player land and pass. So now they have a protected turn here. And they have Transmute Artifacts, so that was a pretty good draw 2 off the Relic of Sauron. Plus their draw step. All we can do is hope that they fizzle. They sacrifice Grim Monolith. So they're going to get Coveted Jewel. Okay. 4 cards in hand. Grim Monolith. And another Coveted Jewel in the form of Copy Artifact. So it looks like our opponent is off to the races here. Another Copy Artifact. Their hand will now be 7. Phyrexian Metamorph. This copies Coveted Jewel. We just have to hope that at some point they brick on their draw 7 and we get to untap. Grim Monolith. Paradox Engine, I don't think that's going to happen anymore, but you never know. Oh, they have the Relic of Sauron. They're never going to fizzle. Okay, we can pick it up from here. Unfortunate. So now we're 1-1. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and Mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Let's try to bounce back. We're on the draw against another person from the Storm Discord. Let's see what they're playing. Ancient Tomb. Could it be the Jewel deck again? We'll take Key. Lobster Boots. Brainstorm is not a bad draw. We'll play Underground Sea and pass. City of Traders. The One Ring. We'll float a blue. Daze the One Ring. Let's brainstorm. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. We'll put the Profane Tutor on the bottom. Yorion Revealed on top. Play Underground Sea and pass. Another Ancient Tomb. Paradox Engine. Sure, the card doesn't do anything. They have 2 cards remaining in hand. We're purposely drawing the Profane Tutor on purpose. Well, I said purpose twice there. But the idea is that by drawing this instead of cycling with the Yorion Revealed, I can draw 3 additional cards with Yorion Revealed. They put a land into play. Let's start on the Atraxa. Atraxa resolves, we get a trigger. Mind's Desire seems like a good one. Emrakul the Aeon's Torn. We'll take a Brainstorm. Lotus Petal. Fluted Delta. Alright, I suppose we'll play Emrakul. Sweet. Once again, we want to bring in our anti-combo package. So the Force of Negations, Duress. Let's take out the Dark Rituals. Profane Tutor. So I could leave in the Mind's Desires this time and not bring in the Brazen Borrowers. I think we'll try that. This hand is not great. We're going to send this one back into the deck and take 6 cards. We'll take that mulligan. Sure. So I think you're supposed to bottom the Lotus Petal here. Keep Lotus Petal to the bottom. Ancient Tomb, Grim Monolith. We draw another Lotus Petal. Play Ponder. All of these things seem good. Pass. They play an Arid Mesa. Paradox Engine. I know it's crazy, but I think I'm just going to let this resolve. Like, it doesn't actually do anything. We'll play the Undercity Sewers. Keep the Omniscience on top and pass. End step, they use the Arid Mesa. And finds Meticulous Archive. Another Grim Monolith, so this will untap the other Grim Monolith. So mana is no longer a choke point for them, and I accepted this, but when you look at what their hand does, it looks like nothing. So these dazes are essentially just Force of Will fodder. We'll play a Brainstorm. Well, we found our Show and Tell. The thing is that we just can't win quite yet. We'll put those on top, play the Lotus Petal and pass. Another Grim Monolith. You have mana for days, sure. That's a Lion's Eye Diamond. Paradox Engine. 1 card remaining. Echo of Aeons. Well, this one will be countered by Force of Negation. Exile Days. Okay, and we will now play Show and Tell. Put the Omniscience onto the table, and let's Brainstorm. We know our top card is Omniscience. I'm kind of hoping for something better underneath. We did not find anything better underneath. I'm going to just pass the turn. They play a land. We'll draw Omniscience and pass. We're going to hold these in case you draw Mind's Desire. It will be better to have them for Storm Count. And we're now drawing the Omniscience again. We'll play Brainstorm. We have found Emrakul. We'll put back the 2 copies of Omniscience and play the Emrakul. Take an extra turn. Sweet. Alright, we are now 2-1. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Time for the 4th match, we're on the play. They reveal a Yorion Sky Nomad. I think we'll try this. Looks like our opponent's taking a mulligan to 5. We will lead off with Undercity Sewers. And we don't want the basic swamp. That can go to the graveyard. We are interested in a Show and Tell. Basic Forest. Marsh Flats. We'll play that. Let's cast a Brainstorm. Mind's Desire. It's an interesting one. We'll put back both copies of Omniscience. Pass the turn. Misty Rainforest. Or a Tundra. Up the Beanstalk. We'll fetch. Select our land, and hopefully we draw something good here. Another Mind's Desire. Dark Ritual. Hopefully they Force of Will, and then we can Force of Will back. That did not happen. Okay. We will try Mind's Desire for 3. Come on, deck. Pretty please. Show me an Omniscience. There we go. Yes. Days backup. Love it. Let's cast the Omniscience. That's just good deck building right there. We'll play Ponder. You could have dazed. I don't want to do that. We'll take the other Ponder for increased storm count. We'll play the Ponder. And actually, I'm going to hold control. Oh, it didn't let me. I wasn't fast enough, but I guess I get another opportunity here. Let's try to hold control again. Holding control, I promise this time. We'll attempt to daze. We'll pay for the daze, and now we can ponder. We'll take Yorion revealed. And I don't want to draw those cards, so I'm going to Mind's Desire first. Storm is 9. Little Dark Ritual in our life. Alright, so we'll play another copy of Omniscience. Dark Ritual. We can play the Profane Tutor off of Mind's Desire, fun fact. And we'll go grab the Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn. And now we will cast Yorion Revealed, draw 3. Play a Brainstorm. It looks like we fizzled out. I mean, we still have an Emrakul with like a bunch of forces as backup, but I would have liked to have hit Atraxa and won this turn. You could have argued that I was supposed to take the Atraxa first, but I think Emrakul's just the safer pick. And now we go to our extra turn and we'll attack. Swing, swing. Annihilator trigger. They'll sacrifice 6 permanents. Play Polluted Delta and pass. Sweet. Off to game 2. We likely only want Duress here. And I think the weakest card in the deck is just Profane Tutor, so we're going to side that out. Especially when our opponent could be playing Teferi Time Raveler. Okay, our opponent has kept 7. No, they've taken a mulligan to 6. I lied. We will try this. They're on 6 cards this game. Misty Rainforest. We find another Ponder. Not a bad draw here. Select Underground Sea and Ponder. We will keep all of these. Send it back. And they put a Brainstorm to the graveyard off of the Surveil 1 trigger from Hedge Maze. Windswept Heath. Up the Beanstalk. I could daze this. I don't think that's what this game is really about. We will play a Brainstorm. We'll put back Yorion Revealed and the Undercity Sewers. We'll pass after that. Carpet of Flowers. Okay, so they're going to have plenty of mana. Wasteland. And another copy of Up the Beanstalk. Sure. They destroy my Underground Sea. I still think I'm supposed to fetch here because I don't want to draw the cards that are on top of our deck. Let's grab the basic island. I don't want to lose this game to Wasteland. Force of Will. Play the Polluted Delta. And we can ponder. Okay. Very good for us. We'll pass the turn. Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath resolves. Savannah. 3 cards remain. I do believe I want the Force of Will on top. Let's attempt a Show and Tell. The Force of Negation exiling Yorion Revealed. I will Force of Will their Force of Negation exiling Daze. In response, they flash and Dress Down. I will daze the Dress Down, picking up our island. Show and Tell, the Atraxa will enter. Trigger. Lotus Petal. Omniscience. Mind's Desire. I think we just want another Force of Will. And I suppose I get a land here. I will take City of Traders. We can go to cleanup. Discard the basic island. Ground Seal. Sure. Don't care about that. We draw Marsh Flats. We'll play that for turn. And let's attack with Atraxa. Swing, swing. We will pass the turn. 2 more hits from Atraxa, and that is the game. End step Dress Down. Okay. Oh, it was second main Dress Down. So if they wanted to play Uro here, they still could. And they do want to play the Uro. I will Force of Will exiling Mind's Desire. We find Show and Tell. Swing. Play Lotus Petal. Show and Tell. Put in Omniscience. Our opponent puts in a 3rd copy of Up the Beanstalk. And then we will Mind's Desire for 3. And I suppose I should fetch in response here to reduce my risks of hitting lands. We'll Surveil. Brainstorm's our card we want in the deck, so we'll leave that. Mind's Desire, Dark Ritual, Duress. and Daze. So not a very good Mind's Desire this time, but that's okay. Our other Mind's Desires have been insane, so I understand. We'll play City of Traders, pass the turn. They play their land for turn, Yorion to hand. All we have to do is counterspell this Yorion Sky Nomad, and that it will be the match. I forgot about the triple up the Beanstalk trigger, but this should still do it. They've already played their land for turn, so they would need a free card to beat Atraxa here. Alright, well, match number 5 is coming up in just a moment. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. The final round, we're on the draw and we've opened up quite a good hand. I'm going to keep this. Island into Ponder. We'll use our Polluted Delta, and I'll go grab a basic island here. Let's try to avoid Wasteland, and we'll Ponder. This gives me a turn 2 Omniscience. The problem is, we don't really want a couple of these other cards. I mean, we can try it, I guess. They also have an Ancient Tomb. I don't know if I want turn 2 Omniscience with a risky pass. So I think I'm going to play Marsh Flats here and just pass the turn. We want to be able to win if we're putting Omniscience on the table, because playing Show and Tell into a possible Show and Tell mirror is really dangerous if I'm willing to risk it all for a Brainstorm. On the end step, we will play Brainstorm. Get rid of City of Traders and the second copy of Profane Tutor. We'll fetch. Grab Undercity Sewers. Don't need Dark Ritual here, that can go to the graveyard. We drew the Profane Tutor again. Okay, that's how it is sometimes. We will lose a couple life here so that way we can bluff that we want the blue mana open. Suspend Profane Tutor. We'll pass. They play another land. Show and Tell. I will Force of Will the Show and Tell, exiling Show and Tell. They Force of Will back, exiling Lorien Revealed. Okay. Profane Tutor looking really bad in this spot, because we probably could have won this game if we had anything else. And we're dead to the Cunning Wish. Firemind's Foresight was the selection. We can go to the next game. Alright, we want Duress. We want Force of Negation. Beseiju. Get rid of those Profane Tutors. Get out of here. Let's get rid of Dark Ritual. Probably board out City of Traders for the Beseiju. That's likely fine. And we'll try this. Game number 2, we're on the play. Sure, we'll try it. They've taken a mulligan to 5. Polluted Delta, we will fetch. Underground Sea, and let's play Duress. We'll take their Omniscience, pass the turn. They do not play one of their 1-mana cantrips. That's interesting. So did you draw Flusterstorm, Spell Pierce? What's going on? I think we want all of these. Pass the turn. They play Prismatic Vista. They must have drawn Flusterstorm. I mean, I don't think I can afford to play around it, so we're just going to jam our Show and Tell, but that's the read that I have. Okay. So then the question is, what's better, Atraxa or Emrakul? I don't actually know the answer. Show and Tell. Here comes the Flusterstorm. And there it is. It's the only card that made sense. Like, it could have been a Spell Pierce, but oh well. They Ponder. They play Misty and pass. Force of Negation. We will pass back. We find Omniscience. We just need our own Show and Tell now. Or for them to play Show and Tell. One of the two. Ponder. They play an Ancient Tomb and are passing the turn. Another Omniscience will pass. Preordain. And Ponder. They have 5 cards in hand. Lorien Revealed. So we can cycle this and go get Undercity Sewers. And that gives us a little bit of card quality. I think we want land 5. I'm not really sure on that one. Play the land and pass. And step they play Impulse. Prismatic Vista. We have 5 lands. Force of Negation. I think you're supposed to discard Emrakul here. And then Emrakul will trigger and shuffle everything back in. Brainstorm. We finally draw a cantrip. We'll play Ponder. I don't know if we have another fetchable here. I'm going to shuffle this. Show and tell. This is very risky. Let's try it. So they're on the green splash. They allowed it to resolve. Omniscience. They put in Emrakul. We will attempt an Atraxa. Wipe away. I mean, I wasn't playing around wipe away. I mean, I realized that I have this Omniscience that I could have played, but I was not trying to play around wipe away of all cards. I think we just lost. Unreal. Yeah. Okay, so let's see if we'd have to hit like Soul Land Show and Tell, and we did not. I guess I can do Brainstorm, Ancient Tomb, Lotus Petal, Mind's Desire. And we have to hope to spike off the Brainstorm. We have to hit one of our remaining Show and Tells. Alright, Brainstorm. We hit Show and Tell, okay. So we don't need multiple Omniscience. That can go on top, and maybe a Force of Negation. Sacrifice for blue. We'll play Show and Tell again. And they have Flusterstorm. Just devastating. I'm going to concede. So I realized that I have 6 permanents. I could take an Emrakul hit, go to 1, but there's no coming back from the game. We know we're Brainstorm locked. There's no way out of it. So we got the 3-2, which is not bad. I could have played the second Omniscience. I just wasn't playing around. I wipe away of all cards. But perhaps that's my own fault. So, you know, that could have been a win and forced to game 3, but I'm not saying we would have won that. I thought the deck list was actually pretty good. Mind's Desire was good. I don't know about Dark Ritual and Profane Tutor. I kind of wonder what a mono blue list would look like. And if you could still support Mind's Desire off of mono blue. You might need Dark Ritual, but the black cards felt like the worst things to me. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And I really do appreciate you watching. Have a great day, and as always, keep storming. You know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe. And if you enjoyed the deck list in today's video, go to the comment section, check out that pinned comment where you will find 2 links. One for TCG Player, so you can buy the deck, and the other is so that you can rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Card Hoarder is the best rental service for Magic Online. They truly make playing online extremely affordable. Go check out Card Hoarder today.